back with another one, man. Thanks y'all for coming out here. Action-packed episode in store for you guys. Excited with this one, man. Told you I was doing the giveaway. I'd like to give a shout out, man. Big shout out to the EAZEE Money channel. Hey, shout out to EAZEE Money, man. You've been commenting on the videos, man. You've been faithful, man. Appreciate all the support, on the videos. I've been seeing you, man. None of the comments go unnoticed. Maybe not the very next episode, but in the coming episode, I'm gonna accumulate all of the comments that you guys been leaving on the videos, and I'm gonna actually use those comments to fuel my videos. So y'all keep leaving those comments, keep letting me know y'all favorite teams, let me know y'all favorite players, let me know scenarios in the league that you want to talk about, controversial things in the league, who you think better than who, just give me all of those debates, give me all of those thoughts, give me what you guys think on all of those in the comment section of every video. I'm always open for, I don't think my opinion is always a fact. I don't think it's always right. You feel me? So when y'all give me y'all opinions, give us a healthy conversation to, go back and forth on, and that's just what basketball is all about, having a good time, all of those things, had an episode with, a close friend of mine, Sherlock, man, I appreciate you for coming on again. We had a great time, great episode, talked about some great topics, man. The last video, y'all go check that out. It's just fun to have, other mindsets, and everybody think about basketball different. We can watch the same game, but we can see two totally different stories. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. That's what makes this interesting. That's what makes this fun. That's what keep it going. So yeah, man, keep those comments coming. Keep the pages going on Twitter, on Instagram. Keep the comments going there. Keep the shout outs going. Keep the stories active. I'm coming with more polls on my Instagram stories. I'm coming with more debates on my Instagram timelines. Y'all look forward to that. Working on skits and the TikTok and all of those things as well. So that's coming in the near future. So you guys look forward to those things as well. I'm plugging a lot of stuff right now, but I need y'all to catch all of these plugs for real. Like for real. Because I'm telling you, the RiSSky Powerhouse is going one way. It's up from here. You hear me? It's only up from here. I told y'all that. It's only up from here. So yeah, shout out to the EAZEE Money channel. You can get in contact with me via Twitter, via Instagram. You can get right in contact with me with a thread under one of my videos. But we got to discuss a location wherever we're sending the jersey to. What particular jersey you want, whether if it's throwback or current. Not paying $350 for a Michael Jordan jersey, so don't come and say I want Michael Jordan vintage Chicago Bulls jersey or Kobe Bryant vintage number 8 Lakers jersey. That's a $300 jersey. I need you to come reasonable, understanding. But yeah, man, that's what's up with the jersey giveaway right now. Right now we're sitting here at 145 on Thursday, and we had a great slate last night. Some good games. A couple of young teams. A couple of upsets. Whatever the case may be. A lot of exciting buzzer beaters. Cleveland got a win last night with no Evan Mobley. Isaac Okoro stepped up for them boys last night. Darius Garland did what he's been doing. As of late, Darius Garland been really good for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that's been instrumental in setting up their offense. And he's showing that he may have an all-star level coming soon. A lot of the guards like Ja Morant and LaMelo Ball, those are the point guards that are that media usually promotes, and that those are the guards that ESPN put in our faces all the time. But it's other good lottery guards that came out in the lottery, that's building, that's growing, and showing potential to one day be one of the best guards in the league. You never know how things may go with injury, how things may go with opportunity, and just how the league can shift so fast. You might look up one day and Darius Garland the best guard in the league. You never know. You know what I mean? So shout out to Darius Garland. Cleveland got another win. They're moving up in the Eastern Conference slowly but surely. Atlanta is 500 in the East now with a win. Last night over, who did Atlanta play last night? Let's check it out. Atlanta got a win over the Orlando Magic, and I know it's the Orlando Magic, and most people say, "Oh, it's the Orlando Magic." Poo. Man, any win matters, bro. When you're a 500 team and you fighting for a playoff spot and all of those things, you know, getting those wins that you're supposed to get are the ones that count. Those are the ones that matter. Those are the ones that, that hold weight. So with that being said, shout out to Trae Young. You know, he had 28 points on 50% from the field. Big time game, big time W's. Also, Philly, you know, they lost to 6 undrafted players last night. You know, Miami had five to seven undrafted guys in the lineup, and Embiid out there. I feel like there's no reason why, Philly should not win that game. You know, Embiid, you should have demanded a double. You demanded double team every play. You know, y'all getting quality shots every play, or where at least y'all should. You know, Tyrese Maxey played 42 minutes. He shot 11 for 15 from the field. Like 11 for 15 from the field. Dude had 27 points. There's no reason why Philly shouldn't have won that game. Tobias Harris, 50% from the field. Tobias had what? 24 points. Come on. Like, Embiid, you got to do more. 5 for 13, 17 points and 14 rebounds. That's just not enough. You know, that's just not enough. We need a lot more from you. You know, Matisse Thybulle, 0 for 5 from the field. We know you're a great defender, but you have to find some type of identity on offense, dog. Tobias Harris, 50% from the field. Come on, man. Joel Embiid, you got to do a lot better, bro. 17 points and 14 rebounds on 5 for 13. I'm sorry, man. You got to be more aggressive than 13 shots. I understand they double teaming you. You only got 6 free throw attempts where you win 100%. That's great. You know, he only had 1 turnover, though. I can give him credit for that. And it was a close game, you know, so not turning the ball over while you're being double teamed and all of those things. No Ben Simmons to facilitate and all of the different factors that go into it. I understand. But, you know, at the end of the day, y'all lost the game and you only had 17 points. And you're supposed to be an MVP player. Now, when we talk MVP, the number one discussion about MVP should be consistency. You know, consistency. Can you do it night in and night out? Who can have big games more times than not? You know, and one thing that we've seen from Joel Embiid throughout the course of his career, he have one dominant season and then he have a good year. You know, he never have bad years. You know, he'll have a good year. Then he'll have a dominant year. Then he'll have a good year. You know, his first year he averaged 20 points and 7 rebounds. You know, he was hurt, whatever. He come back 23 and 11. Then he come 27 and 13 and a half rebounds. Then he go 23 and 11. Then he go 28 and 10 and a half rebounds. And now he's at 23 and 11. Joel Embiid, you have to consistently be 27 and 12. I would rather you get 27 and 12 every time than for you to get 29 and 14 and then give me 23 and 10. And then give me 30 and 15 and then give me 21 and 11. Bro, we need consistency, man. You can't have in and out years and still want the credit, the admiration, the praise, and you want people to view you as one of these guys. That's just how it goes. So Philly, you know, we know you don't have Ben and you don't have the value of what Ben Simmons could possibly bring, but that's no excuse. You know, the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis played big last night. You know, they had 3 20-point scores between Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Pat Connaughton. You know, Pat Connaughton stepped up in the starting lineup with Giannis being out. And, you know, he stepped up in a big way versus the Indiana Pacers. You know, they got a blowout win. They won by 15 points, held Indiana under 100 points without Giannis. You know, they didn't get much production from their bench. However, their starters did enough. You know, Narora is a great, you know, I think he's a second-year player, and he gave you 15 points yesterday. Bobby Portis gave you 20 points. Drew Holiday gave you 26. And Chris Middleton didn't play either. No Giannis, no Middleton, no problem. Let's go. Yeah, that's a great game. Bobby Portis, Drew Holiday, and Pat Connaughton. I didn't watch this game intimately, but when you just go back and see that every one of Indiana's starters had double figures, and, you know, it was no Giannis and no Chris Middleton, and they still was able to prevail. You know, that's great to see. Gordon Hayward had a big game last night. You know, the Charlotte Hornets put up 131 points. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league. If I'm not mistaken, Rozier had his return yesterday. Yes, Terry Rozier was back into the starting lineup. Cody Martin was in the starting lineup for LaMelo Ball, who was still out. You know, Martin played 40 minutes and gave them 21 points. That's great. You know, Gordon Hayward was 15 for 19 from the field, 5 for 6 from 3, and he had 41 points. 41 points. 41 points. Great job, Gordon Hayward. Great job. Bridges gave him 19 points, and Rozier came back with 13. McDaniels and P.J. Washington had double figures off the bench. 10 rebounds for McDaniels and 9 rebounds for PJ. You know, great production. They got a lot of young guys out there, but one thing Washington have to do soon, you know, I think they should commit to Oubre off the bench, and they need to use a couple of those young guys to get maybe a couple of more veterans. You know, they have plenty of young talent that's able to produce, you know, but all of them can't produce at a high level together, you know, with P.J. Washington, Cody Martin, and McDaniels, and, you know, the couple of big men that they have, you know, Book Knight, who I mentioned in a couple of previous episodes. They have a lot of young talent, you know, and Indiana's a selling team right now. You know, maybe they can go, maybe the Charlotte Hornets can make a move and try to make a push to get a Miles Turner type of player or something like that, you know, and that can be very beneficial for them. Speaking of the Charlotte Hornets, ex-Hornet Devontae Graham hit a full court buzzer beater yesterday in a dramatic win. Down the stretch. I mean, when you just look at the Thunder game, you know, Shai Gilgeous hit a great shot down in the clutch, and you know, it's basically a heave from 70+ feet, and Devontae Graham prayer was answered. You know, he shot 5 for 14 and 5 for 10 from 3. He had 15 points and 8 assists. But, you know, Brandon Ingram showed up in a big way yesterday with 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Also gave you a steal, only had 2 turnovers. So, you know, they needed that win. They're 9-21 right now, one of the worst teams in the league. You know, OKC is 8-19. So right now, these two teams are fighting for who's the worst. And I guess being that OKC lost, I guess they won the game, right? In a way, they fighting for a #1 seed. Speaking of buzzer beaters, though, let's flip it over to the Lakers. The Lakers had a big game yesterday. You know, any win for the Lakers at this point in the season is a big game. They won over Dallas by 3. Dallas did not have Luka. However, man, the Lakers still had to grind out a win. And it seemed like every game that the Lakers play is gonna be a game that looks like this. You know, it's always gonna be slow pace. It's always gonna come down to the wire. And I just don't know why with all of that talent. You know, you got Russ, you got AD, you got LeBron. You know, you got shooters, you got this, you got that. But, you know, last night they went out there and no Dwight Howard, THT, both and Malik Monk, all 3 guys in the health and safety protocols. So, you know, that was kind of detrimental to the lineup a little bit. However, you know, all of those guys play roles under LeBron, Russ, and AD. And LeBron, Russ, and Anthony Davis were all out there last night. They all were slightly under 50% from the field. LeBron around 48%, Russ and Anthony Davis around 46% or so. And they all gave you over 20 points. Russell Westbrook had 10 rebounds and 9 assists. Anthony Davis had 12 rebounds. So, you know, what good win. You know, they held Dallas Mavericks to 104 points. You know, I don't like to see 6 turnovers from Anthony Davis, 4 turnovers from Russ, and 2 turnovers from Bron. That's 10 turnovers from 3 players who are pretty much the players that have the ball in their hands. But, you know, if they can shave down those turnovers, you know, that's going to always be the conversation. If they can shave down the turnovers. If. You know, right now I like to take some time, though, on the Dallas side of things to give some love to Jamal Brunson. Was it Jamal? Is his name Jamal? Jalen Brunson, excuse me. Jalen Brunson. Because, dude, you know, these are the type of players that really don't get a lot of love. You know, Jalen Brunson, to me, I think he's a Van Vliet type of player. I think he could be a Van Vliet level of player. You know, Van Vliet have more opportunity in Toronto. But, you know, Jalen Brunson, you know, he seems like he's always, when they need someone to step up, it seems like it's always him. And he's that secondary ball handler behind Luka. So when Luka's not in the game, you know, Luka is a high usage rate player, top 3 usage in the league. You know, so when Jalen can get the ball more, have an opportunity to make more plays, it seems like he always steps up. You know, 25 points and 9 assists on 11 for 18 shooting. You know, that's a good game considering that the team shot 39% from the field and 27 from 3. You know, he pretty much was the only bright spot in their entire offense. You know, everybody was staining, you know, trash. Kristaps Porzingis, 8 for 23. What'd that tell me? He had 23 points on 23 shots, and he only took 6 free throws. Porzingis, you're 7-2, 7-3. Why are you taking 23 jump shots to get 23 points? You're taking too many jumpers. Nobody is telling you that you have to post up and be Hakeem Olajuwon. But what we are telling you is that when you set a screen and you fade in after every screen, sometimes you got to dive, hands up. You know, you got to create. You're the longest person on the court, bro. And you have a guard who had 9 assists last night, which let me know that he was moving the ball. So, you know, if you make yourself available in those positions, man, I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it's him as a player. I'm starting to think it's him as a player, though, because, you know, Porzingis had a lot of injury early in his career, a lot of detrimental injuries, a lot of big-time injuries that can hold you back for long periods of time. But one thing we know, it seemed like he's trying to play to stay on the floor rather than playing aggressive. You know, seemed like, you know, he don't want to attack the rim often. It seemed like, you know, he's not trying to block as many shots as he was when he first got to the league. You know, Dallas brought Porzingis in to be a franchise player. You know what I mean? When they brought Porzingis in, they didn't know that Luka Doncic was going to be an all-world talent. You know, they thought Porzingis was going to be the guy, and they was bringing in a guard to get him the ball to be the guy. Now, we know you came out the ACL and you had the meniscus and all of those things, but now you're a plethora of months removed from those injuries. Like, the expectation for you to be good is now is here. We need you to be good, Porzingis. Like, we want to see you do great. That's why fans. That's why fans complain when you don't step up to the expectation that we think you should. That's why we're upset, because we expect you to be good. It's not that we think you trash. We think you're good. We just think you're not playing up to as good as you should. Okay? Now that we're done with Porzingis, a trade that I said should have been made before the offseason, I said the Sacramento Kings should have bet on Porzingis, and I said they should have gave up Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley. Now, what that would have done for Orlando, what that would have done for Dallas, was they wouldn't have had to overpay Tim Hardaway. They would have brought Buddy in to replace him as a better shooter from distance to spread the floor for Luka. And what that also would have done was given them an opportunity to have an empty piece in Marvin Bagley, who they can bet on, who was a lottery talent, you know, who was always 14 points and 7 rebounds when he was on the floor. You know, he have had a lot of injury issues, and he had issues with Coach Luke Walton and all of those things, and some political things with his father that, you know, kept him off the court. However, he still is a lottery talent nonetheless. If we were saying injury is an issue, injury been an issue for Porzingis too. So, that wouldn't really alter anything if Buddy Hield was, producing at a 20-point clip like he was before Luke Walton pretty much benched him, you know. But shout out to the Sacramento Kings last night. You know, that trade was just a hypothetical that I had in my preseason picks. You know, I said, the Kings, they trying to move up. You know, they can bet on Porzingis to come in and get them 21 points and 10 rebounds with De'Aaron Fox, with Tyrese Halliburton. They drafted Davion Mitchell. They have Chimezie Metu, if I'm not mistaken, Rashawn Holmes. They have some good pieces, So, yeah, man, I wish that deal would have went through. But shout out to the Sacramento Kings. You know, they curb stomped the slumping Washington Wizards. You know, the Washington been falling for a minute now. You know, they started off hot for the first 7 or 8 games. But, now it's seeming like they fallen to where we thought they were going to be, a 7th or 8th seed team. You know, they're 15 and 14. They're a 500 team. They started off as the number 1 seed. They were about, 6-1 or something like that. But, it's over for that. All of the number 1 seed talk, all of that is over. Bradley Beal, we need you to play better. Bottom line, we need you to play better. I understand we was winning early when you was averaging 22 points and whatever, and you're not chasing 30 anymore. You're trying to win games. I understand all of that. But if the Washington Wizards are going to be competitive, Bradley Beal, you're going to have to average over 25 points for sure. Shout out to the Sacramento Kings on getting the big win yesterday. De'Aaron Fox, 28 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 10 for 16 shooting. Clap it up. Good stuff, man, because the Sacramento Kings, they're 12 and 17. They're not a good team themselves. But, it seems like they're always going to be one of those teams that's not the worst teams in the league, but they're not good enough to be in the playoffs either. So eventually they're going to have to shake it up. They're going to have to make a move. They're going to have to do something that's, Do something that shakes up the roster. You know what I mean? Move in a different. You know, you might not think you're getting the same value back, but more versatility or sometimes less versatility. Sometimes you have a player that can do everything good, but they can't do anything great. So you might need to go get that player that can do something great. You know, you got Buddy Hield, who's a sharpshooter. You know, he's not really versatile. He don't really defend at a high level. He don't really pass at a high level or, you know, anything else. But you might be able to move that sharpshooter to get somebody who can pass, rebound, you know, and score a little bit, you know, to, you know, like a Nick Batum type of player to a lesser degree. You know, I'm not saying a player that's going to go out there and average 25, 10, and 10, but, you know, go and get somebody who can average maybe 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, or, you know, 13 points and 5 assists and play strap defense or something. You never know. I mean, they just need to try to do something to get better, bro. I think a team that can benefit from this Indiana saga is the Sacramento Kings. You know, if Malcolm Brogdon, you know, Karis LeVert, Miles Turner, Sabonis, if all of those guys are on the market, the Sacramento Kings need to do something to try to fight for an 8th seed, fight for a play-in, get to that point. You know what I mean? Don't be content with being mediocre. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what they are right now. I feel like the Sacramento Kings, you know, they're kind of shading themselves behind, you know, the De'Aaron Fox era, you know, the young players and all of that stuff. When you look at the Memphis Grizzlies, man, they got Ja Morant, and they immediately started doing right by their talent. They seen, okay, we got a young talented player. He can do some things in this league. Let's try to open up the floor for him. Let's try to make some moves that can actually assist him in getting better in terms of winning games, have more talent around him. I understand they have Harrison Barnes, who is a good vet in Sacramento, but you know, you got to have another vet. You got to have other vets like Patrick Beverly would have been good for the Sacramento Kings coming off the bench, in my opinion. You know, but they have Davion Mitchell, who's quote unquote young, but you know, it seems like they don't have any ambition to move into a higher seed, in my opinion. And you know, that right there is what makes players you know, leave your organization. You know, De'Aaron Fox, you know, he signed his deal obviously because when you're coming out of restricted free agency, signing that max deal is the best business decision. It'll take a fool not to, but you know, eventually, you know, once you get the unrestricted free agency and you did your first 7 years and made a lot of money, you're not re-signing with a team who don't invest in trying to get better, bro. Bottom line. But on to the biggest moment of the night last night, in my opinion. Anthony Edwards became one of 7 players to hit 2,000 points in less than 100 games or less. He joined the elite company. I'm gonna show you the company that he joined in the image posted above. But man, dude hit 10 threes last night. He became the youngest player to do that as well. He had 38 points on 10 for 14 from 3 and 14 for 21 from the field. Karl Anthony Towns assisted him with 32 points and 4 rebounds, 4 assists. You know, Anthony Edwards is definitely showing that was a better option than Andrew Wiggins. You know, he's more aggressive. You know, he might not be as efficient from certain places on the floor, but you know, his aggression and his mentality is what, you know, outwills, you know, what Andrew Wiggins brought to the team. Right now, Minnesota is 13 and 15. You know, they started off pretty well. You know, they went on a couple of losing streaks, but you know, they're showing life, man, with this dude Anthony Edwards. Man, I think it's his spirit. You know, I think it's his mentality. I think Karl Anthony Towns being drafted in 2015. You know, he's older now. He's starting to, you know, get tired of, man, he's been tired of losing, but now he's starting to really get to the point where it get to a point of depression, fed up. You know what I mean? Where, you know, it's win or nothing, man. I'm getting out of here, you know? So I'm not saying that he's not trying to win. I think Karl Anthony Towns wants to help Minnesota get back to a playoff spot. But you know, like I said, it takes veterans. You know, it takes an organization who's willing to try to get better. Willing. That's what it takes. Willingness to try to get better. And I think, you know, Minnesota, you know, I think they're moving in the right direction with the Anthony Edwards kid. You know, D'Angelo Russell, you know, being a good third guy. You know, he had 16.7 assists and 8 rebounds last night. What a good game, you know. And he only turned the ball over 2 times. All 3 of those guys turned the ball over 2 times. That's 6 turnovers between your main 3 ball handlers. Great. You know, they beat the Denver Nuggets. Nikola Jokic, you know, he had a monster game, 27, 11, and 10 with 4 turnovers. You know, he was over 50% from the field again, 11 for 16 from the field. Dude, over 50% from three, 2 for 4. This dude, Nikola Jokic, man, it's just amazing what he's able to do, man, on a nightly basis against star centers, against role players, against anybody. You can overload him, double team him, you know, and he's either going to find the right pass or he's just going to score on you. You know, he's shooting 58.8% from the field, 38% from three, and 75% from the free throw. 58.8%. He's shooting jumpers, threes, fadeaways, off one leg, you know, left shoulder, right shoulder, up and unders. He's offensive rebounding, putbacks, you know, baby hooks, jump hooks. You know, he have the whole bag, man. Shout out to Nikola Jokic. But big shouts out to Anthony Edwards, man. He had the biggest night last night, 10 threes from the youngest player in NBA history. Joined the elite company of players, you know, to hit 2,000 points in 100 games or less. You know, that's my wrap from last night. You know, we got a good slate tonight. I'm interested to see some good basketball tonight. My fantasy league been going crazy. I took the lead last night. You know, I was talking in our chat, and we was brainstorming on how we could get all 12 of us in one room, you know, try to maybe get an episode out to you guys, you know, just spreading our thoughts, you know, giving, you know, it's a lot of personalities in our group. You know, we have 12 people in our fantasy league, you know, that I started for this season. And you know, all of us have all of us be having good takes, really. But, you know, there's always a couple of devil's advocates or whatever. But we got the Pacers and the Pistons and the 76ers versus the Nets. I think that's the premier game of the night, 76ers Nets. We got Chris Paul on the floor again against Washington. The Knicks and the Rockets. The Bulls and the Raptors have been postponed. So we got a 3-game slate tonight. I'm interested to see Kevin Durant versus Joel Embiid. Embiid, like I said, he didn't have a great game last night. 5 for 13 from the field, excuse me. But, you know, Kevin Durant been scorching hot, so we'll see how that goes for Joel Embiid. See if he have what it takes to get over the hump. Shout out to the EAZEE Money page again. Get in contact with me, EAZEE Money, rather on Instagram or Twitter or on the YouTube page, man. We're going to get you that jersey as soon as possible. Hopefully we have a chance to get you on the pod live. If I have to go to you or you have to come to me or whatever, we'll see where you at, man. We can see if we can make that happen for the fans. Like I said, it is, what, it's 2:15. We are up to 560 subscribers. Shouts out to that. Thank y'all for all the support. Thank y'all for all the love. Go check out that episode with me and Charlotte that I dropped this morning. And you know what? You guys will see me later. Love y'all, man.